What's going on, guys? Welcome to Boosted Motorsports and welcome to the channel. So this is our 2017 Dodge Challenger SRT Hellcat. We bought this thing completely mangled and we've built it into the beast that you guys have seen, and if you haven't, you are going to know about it soon. So this car was burnt. We bought this thing, here it is, a picture of it completely burnt, and now it is the way you see it here. We've been on some other projects. We just wrapped up the 426 3-liter supercharged Whipple Dakota, and now we're back onto our own projects. So we built this car, it dynoed at almost 1,000 horsepower to the wheel. 988 foot-pounds of torque, and it was cutting out. And I have another thing to mention to you guys as well. The VVT was not turned on for that run, so we were cutting out on boost and no variable valve timing was turned on, so it was not producing as much as it possibly can. So this thing's gonna be an absolute monster. So we've got the 15-inch conversion on the back. If you guys have been following along, we ended up fully building the engine here in-house using all MMX components. But we've got some stuff that we need to put on so that we can finally take this thing to the track and go see what she's capable of. So I've got these welds. They match the front welds that I have here, but I got these for street stuff. So they're still beadlocks, but they're 17s. I want to find some matching welds for the rear 15s at some point or something of that nature. But either way, this is going to be more of our street-ish setup. I'm going to take the 15s off. But you guys probably want to see this, and this is the purpose of this video. I want to show you guys this. This is a billet differential, as you can see, and we are putting this into the car. So we've got some parts that need to go in this before we can hit the track, namely our billet differential. I also am still running the stock factory drive shaft on here, so that's got to come out. But in order to get that drive shaft in, I also have to reconfigure the tank a little bit, because I had to make some spacers for the tank and drop the tank down just a little bit to fit our fuel system, because I didn't want to cut the body, but we got to figure that out, suck the tank back up into the chassis so that we can actually fit our drive shaft. So our drive shaft is sitting right here next to the HELLCAT swapped Ram 1500 single cab. There's our drive shaft. It is a 4-inch aluminum drive shaft that's going to go in. And this is our old cradle. So we've got our old cradle. The one that's in there has got all billet aluminum control arms, all sorts of stuff on there, a bunch of badassery stuff, and the 15-inch conversion. So that's why this is our original cradle. We've got the beefed up one in there. Let's get that differential in there and see what we can come up with in this video. And last but not least, we've got the HELLCAT swap Dodge Dakota, aka HELLCOTA, and our Corvette Z06 for the road course, and our Viper ACR just casually sitting up here on the lift. And we are going to be supercharging this very soon using that forged engine over there. Lots of stuff going on the channel. All right, so exhaust is off through that down there. And then I'm trying to decide which one I wanna do first here. So I'm gonna be doing a few things here. For the focus of this video though, I'm gonna be installing the differential, potentially the drive shaft. But like I said, I had to put some spacers here to get the fuel line out. So what I might try to do is drop the tank and see if I can't figure out a pathway just underneath the rear seats. A lot of guys end up cutting out the bottom of the, I guess, floor, if you want to call it the floor, but essentially they cut out the body and run the line through, but then you don't have a nice way of sealing off your cabin from the exterior, and you could be pulling fumes and all that stuff. So I don't want to cut out that. I want to see if I can maybe manipulate the line somewhere. I haven't ever had this tank out, but you can see I had to drop it down like ½ an inch, and I don't want to squish my 10 AN feed line that's routed through here. So this is the way I have it. 10 AN's going here. Got the Earl's fuel filter, goes over here, then it goes to the ½ inch hard line all the way to the front from my dual Holley fuel pumps. So in order to get the tank out, I pretty much have to take, you can probably get away with not taking the differential out, but you can see the back of the tank is gonna hit there. So definitely have to take out the drive shaft, and it's a 2-piece drive shaft, as you can see here. So you're gonna have to disconnect it from over there, take out the center carrier bearing, and this is the point of failure. You can see just by me putting my hand on it how much movement we got there. So let me assess this. I'm gonna take out the drive shaft. probably differential, and let me see if I start tackling the tank. I'll keep you guys posted on what I end up doing. While I sort that stuff out though, there is these polyurethane bushings that have to go into our differential. For some reason, these just come bare steel, as you can see here, and they sent me 2 by accident, I think. You can see they're all rusted in this package here, so I'm gonna paint these, that way they don't rust, so we'll just paint them black, nothing too fancy, and then I can install the bushings, because these bushings have to go in our differential to be able to mount it as well. Okay, just for fun, I ended up putting the drive shaft in here, so this is what I'm talking about. It's so dangerously close to right here. So I got decent room here. I can at least kind of reach my hand around there, but here it's like can't even get a finger in there. So yeah, I didn't put the bolts in or anything, but I just wanted to see. It also gets really close to here, this bracket, but I mean everything's fixed, so it shouldn't really move around too much. If you guys are wondering what drive shaft, it's a Wiles, so should be pretty good. So anyways, let's pull this differential down at least, and then I gotta figure out how I'm gonna get this tank down. I might have to get some fuel out of it, bring it down so I can try and do what we were talking about before, see if I can manipulate any of that over there. Okay, just like that, the differential's out. So these G-force axles, you can actually take them off right here, so it makes it a little bit easier, so I don't have to mess with any of my spindle stuff. So I just disconnected the one here, and then when I take that one off, then I can kind of drop the diff down and just pop this axle out of this side, like you see there, drop it the rest of the way. So this is the factory 262, but the other one's 309, so we're gonna get a little bit more gear, but we did end up putting the BMR solid bushings in this thing. So this one's upgraded over factory. Normally there's just rubber bushings everywhere, and then these things eventually snap, but that's the stock one out. We got the big hole over there, so I'm gonna put this one to the side, put it over with our cradle that you guys saw over there earlier, and then start messing with this tank stuff, since I've just got an excess of room without having the diff here. All right, so like I mentioned to you guys, we're gonna empty all the fuel. So what I did do was just activated it for a second just into here, just to clean out anything that might be in that line. I have this spare Earl's 10AN line, and then now I'm gonna activate the fuel pump, and we are going to let it empty into here. So we've got 285 fuel pumps. Look at how fat, I don't know if you guys can see the level. Like it's right here right now. We got dual fuel pumps in this thing, Holley fuel pumps, and this thing moves some serious fuel. It's got a essentially a half inch line, a 10AN line, and this thing is just an absolute garden hose. So we're now up to here, and this is a 5-gallon pail, so I'm gonna fill this up. I got one more 5-gallon pail. I tried to run it down as much as I could before we parked it, but I wanted to get underway and I didn't want to keep driving around, so I figured this is the alternate way. So yeah, we'll let this fill these up, and then I should be able to potentially move this tank around a little bit easier with it being lighter. I'm gonna have to go up top and disconnect some stuff, but you guys get the idea. All right, a lot of work, you guys, but this is some of the stuff, like I said, that I've been putting off, that finally, when we're working on our own projects, we can get back to. Comment down below if you guys are interested in stuff like this, or if you prefer just the quick, easy shot stuff, or you guys like the in-depth kind of problems that I have to work through, sometimes in the background, but I'm showing you guys here. So this is the situation. So we dropped the tank down, and then original factory line ran through this little maze right here, and it was very small, this little snake portion here in the tank, that's kind of molded cutaway there. But what I ended up doing was I ran it through here, so you can see we got this massive garden hose here, because there was a nice spot for a large fuel line right there. I guess these tanks have some different provisioning in them, but what I was running into was, you can see this little wear mark right there. That's where my fuel line was hitting, right there. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna clearance this a little bit. Essentially, like, I can stick my hand in here, there's nothing to affect it, it's just the molding, the way that it's molded there. So if I push this up right here, doesn't have to be pretty, you're never gonna see it, it's gonna be underneath the seat, but if I get rid of this ridge right here to some degree, then it'll allow for my fuel line to pass through here, and then I should be able to put the tank all the way up. So that's my game plan. Let me see if I can do that with a BFH without being too ugly looking. So we'll see how she comes out. That's the plan. All right, guys, I'm pretty happy with what I just did. I haven't seen anybody do this. Most people end up cutting the chassis, and I didn't want to do that. So I don't know if you'll be able to see in there. Probably not. You guys probably won't be able to see that. but look at that. You can see my line, which is right here. There's like I can move this line freely now. There's a Texas mile in there. I could probably put more than one line in there. So what I did was last time I had this flipped through here. So either way, right there or there, then the underbelly can go there, but this routed around there, and then my filter was over there. So pretty happy with that. So I'm going to get the tank. I didn't finalize stuff. I've just been putting it up and down until I got the clearance that I wanted. So I got to pull it down and hook up some of these vent hoses and whatnot, and then I can put that thing back up there, finalize it, and we'll be able to put our drive shaft in as well. So I'm pretty excited about that, getting the drive shaft in. I might have a bunch of grease all over my face, but drive shaft in. I can also put my BMR drive shaft loop in, so this thing will be good to go. All right, so the other thing we're doing is, I got this from my buddy Travis, but I don't like how this one U-joint feels. It feels notchy, in my opinion, and then for some reason, I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but right there, the actual seal is like melted. So I don't know if it's because it's notchy, it was generating a bunch of heat, but got a brand new Spicer U-joint, so I'm gonna take this one out. We'll put in the new U-joint. I will put some paint on this so that we get it in the same position, because this thing gets balanced all together as one piece. So we'll pop out the U-joint, put the new one in, this brand new Spicer one, and then should be back in business. The other side feels fine, but for whatever reason, this one needs to be changed. All right, so brand new U-joint is in, the old one is out, and yeah, it feels gritty, and I don't know if it overheated or something. You can see here this plastic started to melt, but yeah, not sure why. If you guys are wondering how I did it, I just used the ball joint press it out, press the new one in. It's not that exciting, but just a little bit tedious. So anyways, I kept all my orientation the same, so I made a paint mark exactly where the old one was, just in case. So even reference the actual U-joint, which I know doesn't matter, but just because I'm OCD. The exact stamp is in the same spot, and then there is where it was originally lined up. So we're all lined up, and let's go to the next. Man, this diff looks good. All right, so I do got to get those poly bushings in there, so let me use the ball joint press and get these suckers in there as well. All right, check out this piece, you guys. This thing is insane looking. So she is getting hoisted up, so it is ready to go. I ended up putting in my one piece for my half shaft in here to mate up with there, and then this one, as we get it up, I'll articulate it, and we'll get that in here and get this sucker bolted in finally. This is coming together. I'm getting a lot further than I anticipated. Like I said, I really didn't know how the fuel system whole thing was gonna go, but came out really good. I don't know if I mentioned it, but I also put this heat protectant wrap around here because the exhaust kind of swings through here. So yeah, just a little bit of added protection, but yeah, we are getting things underway, so let's get this up. All right, differential's in, just filling it up with fluid since it's level in here, and yeah, we'll cap it off. Just gonna let it trickle a tiny bit more. I did add one bottle of Mopar additive, limited slip additive, even though these fluids say they have it in it. If you guys ever watched us go to Moparty with the 2nd gen Ram with the Hemi swap, we added this gear oil with the additive. Where does it say? Contains limited slip additive, but the rear end still needed the additive, so adding it anyways. All right guys, so rear differentials in, axles are in. I also have another unit. I'll show you guys here probably on the next video. It bolts into here, and then it gives us a 3rd mounting point so that we have 3 points of contact on the back here, so that this thing does not move around. What I actually have to do right now, I want to get this video out for you guys, keep you guys up to date. I'm trying to stick on a every Sunday schedule for you guys, but I do have to run to the store, hopefully, or maybe order them online, but I gotta get shorter bolts. I was debating shortening my original bolts, but if I can find the correct metric bolt at the store, I'm gonna grab them. So I gotta get shorter bolts because this flange here is much skinnier than the old drive shaft. So I gotta get shorter bolts so I can bolt in the drive shaft. Also, you'll notice the transmission cross brace is removed. I started to install, you'll see on the bench there, the BMR drive shaft loop, but I don't know if it'll work with my exhaust. So I was trying to see if I can get it to fit in there. That way that's all done and good, but that's pretty much it. Drive shaft's gonna go back in, and then I'm probably gonna Nancy around town a little bit, get some heat cycles on this, and then we'll drop the fluid again. If you guys were around for our 426 build not that long ago, we ended up full sending it on the brand new differential, and I should have put some heat cycles on it because it didn't like that. So that's pretty much it though. But if you guys are enjoying this series, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what else you guys want to see. I've got some other stuff too. So we got a few other things. We got a Milledon oil pan that needs to go on this. I'm probably going to modify the K-member in the front so that we can easily remove and install the oil pan, because it's kind of a nightmare to do right now. So I'm probably going to take some notes from this. This has a removable brace on the front, so I'm going to probably do something similar to that. And then I also have to put in the upgraded bypass valve, because we're not even running full boost right now because the bypass valve is opening up. So I've got a upgraded one that needs to go on there, and then we should pretty much be going to the track. So hoping to wrap that stuff up this week. I'll have another update for you guys here shortly. Give this video a thumbs up. Head over to shopboosted.com if you guys are new. We got a bunch of stuff over there, products, consultations. If you guys are HELLCAT swapping, Hemi swapping, anything, we've kind of done a bunch of it, and I can help you guys one-on-one remotely with whatever you guys are working on. Doesn't even have to be a HELLCAT swap, but if you guys want some insight onto whatever problems or whatever projects you guys have, I can help you guys. Shopboosted.com. Got some stuff over there for you guys. Also, might be having some billet throttle bodies made in the USA shortly on there. I'll keep you guys posted on that. So thanks for watching. Catch you guys on the next one.